Welcome to another anime recap, and this time, I will be giving y'all a recap of Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, Part 1. This is in preparation for the upcoming Part 2 this July, so use this as a way to do a quick catch-up before it begins. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on what's coming next. Alright, let's begin. So Bleach is back after 10 long years of being on ice, and it's hitting harder than ever. They've ditched those annoying filler episodes and focused on what really matters, the damn story. It's like they never even took a break. We start off in Karakura Town, where Yuki and Madarama, rookie Soul Reapers, are given the job of protecting the human world from the sudden hollow disappearances. But guess what? They get ambushed by these nasty hollows. Luckily, our heroes get saved by Orihime Inoue, Yasutora Sato, Yuryu Ishida, and wait for it, the legendary badass Ichigo Kurosaki. This dude makes the most epic entrance ever and activates his Bankai, unleashing a mind-blowing attack that obliterates all those hollows. Boom! Later, just when you think things are settling down, Ichigo crosses paths with Astiaro Eburn, a member of the Wandenrake. This dude straight up challenges Ichigo to a face-off. The Quincy that looks like an errand car tries to seal Ichigo's Bankai with some fancy Quincy medallion. Well, Ichigo ain't having none of that cause he destroys the medallion and sends Eburn running with his tail between his legs. But hold on tight, because there's more. The Wandenrake ain't messing around because a group of their goons, representing the Quincy Empire, crashed the Seireitei, killing off some Shinigami and busting into the head captain, Genyursai Shigekuni Yamamoto's office. And guess what they did? They dealt a fatal blow to Lieutenant Chojiro Sasakiba, just to show the Soul Reapers what they're up against. It's a warning sign of the dark fate that awaits our heroes, that the Seireitei will fall in 5 days. In some other place, there's this mean-looking dude who's chilling on a throne, dishing out some serious beatdowns to his minions. But guess what? He's not satisfied with just that. He's all geared up to wreck the whole freaking world in just 9 days. This guy, Yuhabaha, is like the ultimate boss. He's got his eyes wide open, ready to conquer everything. The Soul Society, where all the Shinigamis hang out, has faced some serious threats in the past, like the evil mastermind, Susuke Aizen. This time, it's Yuhabaha who is on a whole different level. He's the big daddy of all the Quincy's, and 1,000 years ago, it took a gang of ruthless killers, original Godei 13, to take him down. But now, this Lord of Wandenrake is back in action, stronger than ever, and he's got his sights set on wiping out the Seireitei and turning the world upside down. So, later on, Ichigo bumps into Nelliel and Pesh, who literally drop out of the sky and land on his lap. They give him some shocking news. Hueco Mundo got taken over by the Wandenrake, and their leader Yuhabaha defeated Hailbell. Unfortunately, the Arankars and Hueco Mundo had to make a tough choice, either join the Quincy's, get wiped out, or become their slaves. Well, Ichigo ain't one to sit around, so he rallies up a crew including Kisuke Urahara, Orihime, Chad, Nell, and Pesh to head straight to Hueco Mundo. Meanwhile, a top hunting captain of the Wandenrake, Quill Jopi, decides to test the Arankars and see who's worthy of joining their ranks. Loli and Minoli think they can outsmart him, but they get their butts handed to them. However, because they showed some serious guts, they're given a chance to join up. Just when things are getting intense, the Trace Besties, Emilu, Francesca, and Cyan Sunsun show up and start wrecking Quincy soldiers left and right.
Suggestion, lay down your arms and surrender. You'd like that. Don't underestimate us with the monkey!
But their victory is short-lived because Quilch swiftly takes them down. Ichigo ain't one to back down though. He's determined to free all the Arancars and goes head-to-head with Quilch in an epic battle. Sensing defeat, the Quincy dude absorbs a ton of erasure, including from Aizen, and becomes super powerful, but Ichigo ain't scared. He unleashes his Bankai and clashes with Quilch once again.
Power surpass mine.
The fight between Ichigo and Quilch continues, and Urahara notices that stealing Ichigo's Bankai ain't as easy as it seems for the Stern Ritter. And that's when he got a call from the Soul Society and they're under attack and they need Ichigo to come help. So Urahara opens up a portal for Ichigo to join the fight, and in a desperate move, Quilch attacks Urahara, Orihime, and Chad, then uses his Stern Ritter powers to trap Ichigo in the Garganto while on his way to the Soul Society. But just when things seem grim, someone unseen swoops in and takes out Quilch, saving Urahara and the gang from certain doom. So, right after Yamamoto wrecked Hueco Mundo, leaving Quilch to handle the leftovers, the whole Soul Society gets swarmed by those badass Stern Ritters. These Quincy elites are handpicked by Yamamoto himself and given some fancy power, like a special ability for each letter from A to Z. Shit hits the fan real quick as those court guards start getting their asses handed to them by the invaders. But hold up, here come the captains to save the day. Kamamura, Byakuya Kuchiki, Toshiro Hitsugaya, and Soifan unleashed their Bankai, thinking they got this in the bag. But guess what? Those Stern Ritters straight up steal their Bankai using some freaky absorbing medallions. The captains are freaking stunned when they find out that the Stern Ritter's secret weapon is stealing Bankai. This news spreads like wildfire throughout the Soul Society. Shit gets even worse when Shunsui Kairaku, the captain of the 8th Division, gets his right eye blinded by Robert Acutrome. The massacre keeps going down in Soul Society, with those overpowering Quincy's tearing apart the Soul Reapers. And get this, over 1,000 Soul Reapers ended up in the dust in this Quincy invasion. It's a total bloodbath. Byakuya and Renji engage this creepy masked dude in battle. The captain is unnerved by creepy dude, who awakened his fears with Racier Thorns. He attempts to overcome his fear, but the creep overwhelms him with his own Bankai, almost killing him. And it seems Rikio was given a deathly blow somewhere in the battle. The whole battlefield takes a wild turn when the big shot, Yamamoto, steps in, ready to kick some serious heads in the Soul Society. Armed with his badass Zanpakuto called Rujinjaka, this captain commander brings some balance to the chaos. First, he caught the Stern Ritter who killed his lieutenant. This Quincy actually tried to use late Sasakiba's Bankai on the old man, but he got unlucky as he is burnt to ashes by Yamamoto's hell flames. Then, he lifts up going head-to-head with Yamamoto. Get this, this showdown is off the charts.
Minded of your younger days.
Yamamoto unleashes his Bankai, revealing the true power of the Gotei 13's founder. And damn, does he heat up the whole place with his Bankai, Zenka no Tachi from the west.
avoid it, won't I?
From the east,
Yamamoto.
No, then.
from the south,
Of course you will have to deal with all of them first. You worthless coward.
and from the north, finally tearing Yamamoto apart. It looks like the Soul Society is finally safe, right? My friends? Turns out, the Yamamoto that Yamamoto destroyed was just a copycat named Stern Ritter Lloyd, who had mimicked the Quincy King. The real deal, the actual king of Quincy's, shows up and does the unthinkable. He snatches Yamamoto's Bankai and slices the poor captain commander in two with a single blow. It turns out that the imposter couldn't steal the old man's Bankai because only the Quincy King, who's of greater strength, can do this. And if that weren't enough, this evil guy goes ahead and chops off Yamamoto's hands that were grabbing onto his coattails. Can you believe the audacity? Soul Society's in deep trouble once again. Meanwhile, Ichigo finally busts out of OP's prison and goes head-to-head with Yamamoto. Engaging in this intense battle on the ground, in the air, and all over the place, but he's totally outmatched. While Yamamoto is about to slice Ichigo's throat, something weird happens. Ichigo's body gets covered in this badass blue armor called Blood Vene. Turns out it's a special defense power that only Quincy's have, and Ichigo's got it thanks to his mom, as revealed by the Quincy King, leaving Ichigo totally shocked and confused. His mom? What does this guy know about his mom? The invaders peace out and head back to their base, and Ichigo tries to chase after them. But then Yamamoto's right-hand dude, Jugram Hashwolf, just casually obliterates Ichigo's sword before taking off. Now, the Seireitei is in ruins, mourning their captain commander and all the peeps who got slaughtered. And now there are a ton of unanswered questions. Why does a human Shinigami like Ichigo have a Quincy's exclusive defense power? And how the hell is he gonna take on these ruthless attackers with a beat-up body and a busted sword? After the big showdown, Rukia and Renji get patched up by division for medic squad, along with the other surviving Soul Reapers. Byakuya is barely hanging on, while Mayuri drops a bomb on Ichigo, saying his Zanpakuto got wrecked while he was in Bankai mode and there ain't no way to fix it. Somewhere, the captains are grieving for Yamamoto while Byakuya and Zaraki are still on the edge like they might never wake up. But hold up, something weird happens. The Gotei 13 gets a badass backup straight from the Soul King's palace. Squad 0 drops in from the Soul King's palace, and the 5 captains of this squad are the OGs who helped create the whole Soul Society. And not only that, they're stronger than the combined powers of the 13 court guards. They scoop up Ichigo, Renji, and the busted swords, plus the messed up Byakuya and Rukia, and haul them all back to the palace. Meanwhile, Captain Kairaku steps up as the new head captain and he picks his Lieutenant Nanao to join him in the 1st Division. He's like, "Zaraki, my dude, you need some serious sword skills." So he assigns Captain Unohana from the medic squad to teach Zaraki this wicked swordsmanship called Zenjutsu that covers all the styles. You ever wonder why a beast like Zaraki gotta train with the calm and peaceful Unohana? Well, turns out this serene and caring lady ain't your ordinary captain. She's the OG Kenpachi and one of the founding members of the Gotei 13. But here's the kicker, this peaceful Unohana has a dark past. She used to be a bloodthirsty maniac, slaying peeps left and right. And guess who gave her a wicked scar? None other than Zaraki himself, the guy who loves a good fight. They clash again, and Unohana reveals her savage side, slashing like a possessed woman.
Even greater heights than I ever could. Bankai.
Zaraki ain't no pushover either, as he's been holding back his true power with limiters, but they start falling off one by one as he gets beat down by his own trainer. Each time he bounces back, tougher and more determined. Then, in a final act of sacrifice, Unohana passes on her powers and the title of Kenpachi to Zaraki. With her last breath, she kicks the bucket and Zaraki becomes the undisputed badass of his generation. After patching themselves up at Tenjiro Karenji's hot spring and stuffing their faces at Kiryu Hikafune's table of soul food, Ichigo and Renji roll up to Blade God, Oetsu Nemea's crib to fix their busted Zanpakuto toes. Up at Nemea's residence, Ichigo and Renji are put to the grueling test of fighting the Asayuchi or Zanpakuto spirits to find the true spirits of their blades. Renji succeeds, while Ichigo fails, and because of this, he is sent back to the human world to learn more about his roots. It's here that his goofy dad, Isshin Shiba, reveals the truth of Ichigo's origins. About 20 freaking years ago, Ichigo's dad was actually a captain of the Godai 13. One day, he rolls into Naraki City to investigate some crazy-ass deaths of Shinigamis. All of a sudden, he comes across this strange hollow that's like nothing he's ever seen before, one that fights like both a Shinigami and a high-ranking hollow. But hold up, this no ordinary hollow is actually the creation of Aizen, who ain't no good. Aizen brings his crew, Tozen and Jin, to mess with Shiba while he's already dealing with the damn hollow. Meanwhile, Yuryu Ishida's pops, Ryukin, is about to tie the knot with this fine lady named Masaki Kurosaki, a pureblood Quincy. So she's chillin' at the Ishida crib until they can seal the deal. Now, Quincy's ain't big fans of Shinigamis since they got wiped out 1,000 years ago. And whenever there's a battle between Hollows and Shinigamis, they usually stay away and only show up after the Soul Reapers kick the bucket. But Masaki ain't like the rest of them. She steps in to save Isshin, even though Ryukin and the Quincy made Kane Katajiri try to talk her out of it. Masaki swoops in and saves Isshin, while Aizen stops Tozen from offing her because he wanted to see how it all goes. Masaki goes all bait-and-switch on the hollow, gets it close, and blows it up real good, sacrificing herself in the process. Isshin shields her and gets all banged up, but it seemed he'll turn out fine. And guess what? She reveals she's a Quincy to him. At first, she's scared of how Isshin will react, but he's stoked to have met a living Quincy. Ryukin and Kane see that Masaki's safe, so they peace out together. Now, here comes the crazy part. One day, Masaki gets all drowsy and passes out. Because of the attack by the hollow, she's now going through a hollowification. Ryukin scoops her up and hauls ass to find help. He runs into Isshin and blames him for Masaki's condition, but there's this dude, Kisuke Urahara, the OG head of Ran D in the Soul Society, who shows up and drops a bombshell on Shiba. He's got a choice to make: let Masaki die cause she's got a hollow soul, or give up his Shinigami powers to save her. And you know what happens, right? Shiba shocks everyone by choosing the latter. So, Shiba gives up his badass Shinigami powers and sticks with Masaki, and that's how Ichigo, this crazy mix of a Quincy with hollow and Shinigami traits, comes into the world. Isshin spills the beans to Ichigo about his mom getting killed by this hollow called Grand Fisher because of some messed up power stuff that Yamamoto did. Like 9 years ago, that guy stripped a bunch of his peeps of their powers to beef up his own, calling them impure. Armed with the truth, Ichigo finally rolls up to Nemea's crib, and bam, he picks out his legit Zanpakuto, which looks just like his OG Zangetsu, white. The forging kicks off, and in Ichigo's mind's eye, he spots old man Zangetsu chilling in the distance. Then it hits Ichigo like a lightning bolt that this old man, who he trusted as his Zanpakuto spirit for all these years, was actually the ancient Quincy boss from 1,000 years back and the source of Ichigo's hidden Quincy powers. Emotions run high as they have a real heart-to-heart. The old man, all proud and stuff, admits that he held Ichigo back to keep him safe, because he didn't want to off him when the time came. Turns out, it was White, the Hollow, who's been lending Ichigo his powers this whole time. Now, Zangetsu is woke and pieces out, handing Ichigo the full might of his powers. Back at the forge, Ichigo pulls out 2 badass Zanpakutos, each resembling the 2 sword spirits inside him. Now, he's no more borrowing power from the blades, he's now the freaking sword.
Thank you, Zangetsu. You are me.
Thank you all for watching this video. I'll be making episode by episode recap of part 2 coming in July this year, that is, 2023, so don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the epicness of this anime. Stick around, cause we got more videos coming your way.